Each of us has his or her own story. However diverse the details, one reality remains unchanged and unchallenged. And they are the words of Jesus in John's Gospel. No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him or her. That's a very important verb. Not compels, simply draws. Draws us by Augustine's fine insight, by the cords of love. This is my story of how two people, Christopher and Deborah Sanchez, were drawn into God's love by his tenderly embracing their son, Christian Ryan Adam Sanchez. What's yours? Write to us and tell us if you care to. Write to me, Father Philip Dabney, Our Lady of Perpetual Help Novena, 1545 Tremont Street, Boston, Massachusetts. We look forward to hearing your story. This afternoon I have the honor of having Chris and his wife Deborah and their little baby boy Christian visiting here in Boston after having been home in Springfield for several months. They brought him back to Boston for a checkup, and we have this opportunity to actually speak with him. So first, we'd like you to take a look at Christian. Deborah and Chris, when I knew you, Christian had just been born. How old is he today?
Today is his 5-month birthday. He's 5 months old today.
And how much does he weigh today?
Today he's 7 pounds, 9 ounces. The far cry from when he was born.
When he was born, as you heard in the talk, Christian weighed 1.5 pounds. And I've brought a tape dispenser from the office desk so that you could get a sense of just how much he weighed. This weighs exactly 1 pound, 7 ounces. So we get a sense of how much Christian weighed. We know that there were several complications, but he looks beautiful today, and believe me, that Red Sox uniform makes him even look better. We know where they stand today. Maybe that's why they're doing so well, the Boston Red Sox.
Right? the smallest little fan.
So let me ask you, what's his prognosis today? After all these months, how would you describe Christian's health today?
I would say his health today is very good. Mm-hmm. We have been making great strides since we came home from the hospital. He was in the hospital for 102 days, and he's been home about 6 weeks now. And he's just growing leaps and bounds. He's grown 2.5 pounds just since coming home. And yay! He's still on a touch of oxygen, and it's more to help him use his energy to grow instead of for the work of breathing. So we're hoping that as of next week he won't need his oxygen. He's going to go for a sleep study, and we're hoping that will no longer be necessary. And his prognosis is excellent. He has a surgery scheduled for the beginning of May for his intestines, and it's completely reversible. So this is the reversal that we're going in for, and we're hoping that everything goes well and as it should. And you, in 6 months from now, you won't even know that he was ever 1 pound 10 ounces.
When I first met Chris and Deborah, it was on Christmas Day, and they asked me specifically that day after Mass to pray for Christian, whom they had told me was born premature, but all the particulars I did not know at that time. I know that many, many people prayed and continue to pray for Christian every day, as I have. But what I've been very interested in is what made the both of you come every single Wednesday that you were here in Boston, since Christmas to the OLPH Novena service?
We were living at Children's Hospital, and we were attending the communion services on Sunday mornings, but for Christmas we wanted to go to a church. And there was a flyer posted in the Center for Families for Our Lady of Perpetual Help Basilica, and it mentioned in this brochure that they handed out that there is a novena mass for Our Blessed Mother. And I read a little bit about the history of why this church was built and what the Redemptorists hold sacred with Our Blessed Mother. And I was very interested in this, and I thought, this is something we need. We need someone to take our prayers beyond the saints, but someone very dear to the Blessed Mother. And I read in a book of prayers that had been given to us by Sister Margaret from our church back in Springfield, St. Michael's Cathedral, and in it was the Memore.
The Memore, yes.
The Memore, and I read it, and then I learned about the Basilica, and I put two and two together, and then when I realized there was a special service just for her, I said, I have to go to this, and I would walk up here, and if Debbie couldn't make it, I would walk up here and be here for 5:30 on the button to be here and attend these services, and then
we feel it's made quite a difference in Christian's life and in his recovery. We truly believe that with her help and the prayers of everyone, that he's today where he is because of that.
Mm.
What happened to him Christmas night was, in my opinion, the biggest turning point for his leap to recovery.
Mm.
And I believe it had a lot to do with
coming here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, and in my talk I was mentioning that. He looks so peaceful. I mean, he looks absolutely serene. Is this the normal posture for Christian?
Sleeping on his mom usually is, yes. He's quite comfortable in his mother's arms, absolutely. But he's a very alert and developmentally able child.
Wow. He's
very alert, he's looking around, he's following and tracking, and his movements are more and more every day. He works with a physical therapist now, and she's very pleased at where he is developmentally, and holding his head up and trying to get himself to roll over, and all the things that you would expect from a baby who was born right on time at full term, not knowing that he was almost 15 weeks early.
Oh God, and he's just so beautiful.
Thank you.
Really, I can't believe, since when I saw him in the hospital, the progress and who he is today. It's just beautiful. As Christian continues, to improve and to show signs of improvement and to grow into his boyhood, which is very obvious, as we mentioned, he's already a Boston Red Sox fan. What's so beautiful is there are still concerns that people can pray for, and so I just wanted to ask you, are there any particular events or concerns or ongoing things that we could continue to pray for, and the viewers who are watching this show tonight or today?
Certainly do appreciate that. Certainly for a long, healthy life filled with Christianity. We do believe that he has a greater purpose than what we know of at this time. For him to get this far, he's trying to open his eyes, but he's too tired. We hope that developmentally he'll meet all his milestones and his markers for where he will be, and so people, we would be grateful if people could pray for that, and that his health also continues to he recovers from his surgery, because he will be having surgery and may have already had it by the time this airs, but for a complete recovery and a healthy life.